Hey, folks, here's a PSA. If you ever have some type of controversy where your internet handle shows up on a site that may be inconsistent with your publicly professed values.
Okay, well, you have to do the ad read, Nude Africa. We're paid by them. Do it.
I was actually going to say, like, for instance, like if I get out here and I'm like, go Red Sox, but I'm on some Yankees forum as like, a big puppy lover or something, or I don't know. I mean, like it's, you don't want to get exposed in that way. So, if you're ever going to be on like a Zoom or something, make sure that you've taken it down. Can you think of any other example, Emma, of what I'm talking about?
Thankfully, Carolina Forward, a local paper or maybe it was actually, I'm sorry, the Assembly in North Carolina that broke this. So Mark Robinson, the guy who, we should say, he allegedly had an account called Mini Soldier where he posted all over sites called Nude Africa and other forums where he talked about very explicit sexual things, but also about being a black Nazi. I am a black Nazi, he proclaimed. Well, he denied that was him, Mini Soldier, even though it was associated with like an Amazon account that he made reviews on for like toy trains or something that was linked back to him, even though one of the profiles with the same username had his exact face in it and said Mark Robinson, even though there was corroborating information about what he posted about.
Sounds like AI to me, but go ahead. Talking
about his wife, the number of years they were married matched up. The details about that, I guess, like, I don't know, other parts about where he lived or grew up were also corroborated. But he kept denying that it was him. And in fact, he said he was going to sue CNN for their investigative report into this.
Well, I mean, look, listen, anybody can go back in time and create these fake accounts.
Yeah.
Do it retroactively, right?
It's so it
doesn't prove anything. Emma,
it's AI.
It could be AI for all we know.
But Mark Robinson is still a lieutenant governor, and so he has some duties to do before he is Well, does he get ousted? I don't know, because he got elected, right? He's on his way out. Anyway, but he still has duties to fulfill at the tail end of his time as lieutenant governor of North Carolina. So he logged onto a Zoom because they're planning the inauguration of the new governor, Josh Stein.
Do you mean like an AI world, like a sim world where maybe somebody could have like
Second Life
type of situation? Or are we talking like in real life?
So this was real life. This was an official meeting with other people working on the inauguration, some in the actual government in North Carolina. They had a Google Meet.
The people on that thing were like Jennifer,
Samantha,
Pam,
Stephanie,
or Gladys, and then
someone else logged in.
Weird. Mini Soldier logs in.
Where do I remember that name from? Oh, yeah, Nude Africa, the black Nazi guy.
Yeah.
Now, wait a second. Before we jump to any conclusions, although it was confirmed that it was Robinson on this call, I mean,
he's doing a bit.
It's a joke.
No, it's called reappropriation.
He's yes-anding it.
Yeah.
This is no. Don't you understand though? On some level, it's like the liberals, the libs, made me be Mini Soldier. So you did this to me. You look what you made me do. I had to be Mini Soldier.
I had to relog into all those sites.
I had to go and create Mini Soldier, and thank goodness no one else on Zoom had taken this handle, which I've never used before, and now I get to be Mini Soldier on Zoom.
Look what you made me do.
I'm really looking forward to them following through on that lawsuit against CNN. It definitely wasn't just like a glorified press release to take some heat off of him. Holy moly. He's so dumb. That's what's fun about it, too. Both insane and dumb.
Amazing.
I'm not in the KKK. They don't let blacks join. If I was in the KKK, I would have called him Martin Lucifer. Okay, I'm not going to finish that.
Yep.
Okay, but we don't know for sure. It could be that just coincidentally, the guy with the picture that looks like him writing that stuff under Mini Soldier, and then there's just a second Mark Robinson out there who's a Mini Soldier. This happens with like voting rolls a lot of times. You know, last name you get cut.
What if it's a
Honestly-
doppelganger? This could be a horror movie.
Or it could have been one of his staffers who went to his parents' home and logged in as Mini Soldier as a prank.
What's also amazing, let's just do this one at the same time because it's sort of a similar genre of just like Republican candidate who did not succeed and is a complete moron. Mm-hmm. You remember that guy, Doug Mastriano? He ran for governor against Josh Shapiro in Pennsylvania. Listen, there's a lot of like tough stuff happening with drones.
I'm not following the story at all.
Well, I mean, there's drones everywhere.
Even
there's
though
drones
it's
everywhere.
New Jersey centric.
And
My guess is I've seen this on Twitter that there's some sort of like sensor drones that are, you know, checking the harbor that people might be noticing, and then a lot of the local news is seen driving the paranoia
Right.
and looking at planes.
It's not UFOs.
It could be you know, drones that the Defense Department is trying out stuff.
Exactly, that's
I
what it
mean,
is.
that's probably what it sounds like to me. But Doug Mastriano, still a state senator, writes on Twitter. Hold on, don't pop it up there yet. He writes, "It's inconceivable." Because he's responding to a breaking news. There's a crashed drone in Orange Beach, retrieved from the water and taken to an undisclosed location for further investigation. And he writes, "It's inconceivable the federal government has no answers, nor has taken any action to get to the bottom of the unidentified drones. The fecklessness of this administration was on display last year when a Chinese surveillance balloon was allowed to fly over the entire continental United States before being shot down. Such should be viewed as a threat to our nation and citizens and actions long overdue. We have recourses and assets in our arsenal to get answers, but I suppose Ukraine is more important to the White House. January 20th. Can't come soon enough." Look at this image of this drone. I mean, this is terrifying that we have drones like this being pulled out of the water. It's massive.
That is very large.
I mean, I'm worried about Congress. I'm worried about the Galactic Senate. Where are they sitting on their hands?
Exactly. First of all, like, you know, like this is. I hope they've opened up the top thing, because my understanding, like, that doesn't look like a normal Imperial fighter. I think that's like Vader's.
I'm trying to figure out which one that looks like.
It's Vader's.
So Tapper corrects him. Okay, I take the actual drone story seriously, but regarding the blow, I'm pretty sure the Red Leader Garvin Drace shot down that TIE fighter in episode 4, A New Hope.
I also don't think that an adult should know that information.
I know. I was gonna say, like,
Unless you wrote the movie or
open up some Ilan Pape Tapper. Do some actual work, buddy.
But wait, what was it? Was it a prop?
Yeah, it's for some
It
sort
was
of
for a
Star
movie.
Wars thing.
Oh, it must be for. It might be for Star Wars.
or it could just be a
Thank you, Morley
Photoshop.
Gray Jedi. It is a TIE fighter. Yes, there we go. It's
It could be a Photoshop. But I'll tell you what, it's not. It's not a drone that they've taken out of the water.
Not on that wide load tractor trailer. That's not a super secret piece of technology that the government's hiding from us.
You know,
Down the interstate.
we don't have any government trucks that can handle this thing. My cousin,
Call Leroy.
My cousin Zeke, he's got a flatbed, and
We got to get this thing out to Lubbock for the convention.
He's supposed to go down to South Carolina to pick up a couple of cars that he's transporting.
Put the tarp over it.
Oh my God.
the UFO thing. Why are Republicans the ones fixating on it, guys? Right? Like, I believe there's life on other planets. I do. But it really is quite convenient that, like, there can be any military testing done. We can have all this different surveillance technology that's up there. And then you get people all riled up about what it could be, life on other planets. Most likely, it's the very conspiracy that we, like, live under here.
It's how we unveil our new technology.
Yes, we're testing military technology. We're maybe using surveillance drones. And it's very convenient for the powers that be to have people distracted in this way.
And also, if you think it's new that the government is noticing things like this and sort of, there's a congressman who's going to get to the bottom of it. They've been running this playbook since the 50s.
Yeah.
And it always seems to be around this time of year, right? When it's like a slow news time or a time where they don't want to, this is when the Chinese, weather balloons were up there, supposedly, like, what do you think a Chinese weather balloon can see that, like, they can't just look on Google Earth?
Satellites.
But the UFO thing, I think, is an explicit pander to the Joe Rogan audience and, like, that kind of ecosystem. And who was leading it in the House? Was it Nancy Mace leading those panels? Yeah. That tells you everything.
Robert Skvarla, news release from the Gerald Ford Library were UFO sightings in Michigan in 1966. Notice how similar the language is to what we're seeing from politicians today with the Jersey drones. And they started a new committee and they looked into it. And, it turns out space aliens aren't visiting us. Shock.
And listen, nobody's more bummed about it than me.
Yeah.
I know. Come on.
I'd prefer an alien takeover of our government than what we're about to get for the next 4
Corporate
years.
Hey, with Trump's inauguration coming up, we're already seeing what the next 4 years will look like. His senior campaign official threatened Pennsylvania election workers with jail time for counting mail-in ballots with technical errors like missing dates. The real issue with that? Only one left-leaning outlet has covered this story, leaving Trump's base room to dominate the narrative. This isn't just about Pennsylvania. It's a preview of the tactics we're going to see for the next 4 years, so we can't afford not to pay attention. That's why I've been a longtime partner with Ground News. It's an independent app and website that shows us how important stories shaping our lives get covered or ignored across the political spectrum. Plus, it gives context on why they might be missing from our feeds in the first place. For those of you feeling politically burnt out, Ground News makes it easy to stay informed without feeling overwhelmed. Their daily briefings give you a quick, factual breakdowns of the day's biggest stories from every angle. They are also knocking down the price of their top-tier Vantage plan to under $5 a month for our listeners. Just go to ground.news/majority or scan my QR code to subscribe. It's their biggest discount of the year. And maybe even gift one to someone you know. By supporting Ground News, you're not just supporting my channel, you're ensuring independent voices don't disappear. Because what's happening in Pennsylvania is a warning. If we don't push back now, the next election is going to be even harder. Hey folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.